Hey everybody, what's going on? Happy Thursday for those of you guys that are watching this today. Had a really good question come up around finding good leads that are ready to buy, and I wanted to go over that on this live with you guys and help you out. Don't mind my voice, I'm a little scratchy today, but let me know if you're in here. Say hi. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to cover specifically. If you have any questions, anything around client acquisition, I'm here for you guys. Okay. I'm going to look. We got 4 people on here now, which is awesome. Cool. Hey Chantel, hey, welcome. It's so good to see you in here and excited to jam out together. Brad, good to see you. Who else we have in here? I can't see, but it's all right. Tal in the group asked a really good question this week, and I'm going to break that down. And Tal, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen and riff with you guys a little bit. Okay, and keep it short and sweet. Cool. So let's check it out. Hey, Hamad. I'm gonna zoom in more so you guys can really see it. Cool. So Tal said, how do I get clients that are ready to buy? How do I get leads that are ready to buy? Let me change that to leads. I'm trying to drive sales towards monthly bookkeeping and CFO if they truly need and can afford it. So I'm going to break down a few things in this question, but Tal, I really appreciate the question. I jotted down some bullet points for myself to cover and take notes as we go. Okay, so let's have some fun. So I know I hear that question a lot. Where can I find leads? Where can I find good leads to work with? Um, I want to kind of change your perspective on this and think about it a little bit differently. Especially if you're offering and focusing on higher end services, value added services like advisory and CFO, like we recommend in here. Okay. Um, Leads aren't necessarily found as much as they can be manufactured. Okay. And I'm going to go into a little in depth about that, right? Depending on where our prospect is, they are all on different stages of the journey, right? Some are some are pain aware, right? That's most prospects, if not all of our prospects, are pain aware, right? They realize they have something going on in their business that they're not happy with. They're working too much. They don't know what's going on. They have a lack of clarity, right? I'm going to just bullet point these down. So spending too much time working, lack of clarity. They, let's see, not enough profit, things like that, right? So those are examples for pain aware. Then there's a separate group that are problem aware. The problem aware folks understand their pain point, but now they know the root cause of the pain. So they know the root cause of the pain. So this could be, some may say, okay, it's because I'm not doing accounting and reviewing accounting monthly, periodically, whatever it is. It could be I don't, I'm inefficient with my time. I'm productive, right? I'm inefficient. Okay, I'm inefficient with my time. It could be not enough profit. Maybe they're thinking not getting, this is a big one, right? Don't have enough leads. How often do I hear that from you guys? A lot. Okay. So this is folks that are problem aware. Okay. Next bucket is, I'm gonna do it this way, process aware. I'm gonna split this up a little bit more. So they're process aware, which means they know the way they want to solve it. So this could be, they know they want to hire an accountant advisor. They, let's see, they want to implement a new calendar system or software, whatever it is, right? Okay. And then finally, we have a solution aware, right? And this is just where they are comparing vendors, options, who offer the process from above, right? So really only the smallest amount of your leads, and I spoke about this yesterday, the smallest amount of prospects are in this bucket. So 1 to 5% of prospects fit this bucket. Yet this is where most of you guys are marketing to, right? Hey, who needs bookkeeping right now? Who needs bookkeeping, right? And then here, maybe it's a little bit bigger here. So I'll say 10 to 15% here. Problem aware, we're starting to get bigger. So now we're like, okay, we'll say like 30% here, and then the rest. So that would be 30, 40, 45. We'll say 55% here. Right. So most of your prospects here are all of your prospects are in one of these buckets. Okay. Our goal, and when we market to just the solution where people we're only talking to and speaking to a very small percentage of the marketplace. With our marketing, we can effectively move people from pain aware to problem aware to process aware to solution aware when our marketing is right. And that's exactly what I mean when I say that leads aren't found, they're manufactured. Right? Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Right? There's different content, there's different assets that we can build that takes a pain aware prospect to problem aware, that takes a problem aware person to process aware, and then sharing with them our solution that can help them. Okay. I'm actually going to come down to 3 sales. So I mentioned this last time on the call, on our training yesterday. If you guys didn't check that out, it's Client Acquisition Foundations. Definitely check that out in the group. But there's 3 sales that we need to make, 2 of them in the marketing that I'm going to focus on. So 2 in marketing. One is to be sold on, I'll say prospect, needs to be sold on us, our values, what we stand for, stand against. They need to be sold on us and want to connect, right? Number 2, prospect needs to be sold on our process, and that our process will help them solve their pain and problem. Okay. So when we effectively do this in our marketing, we are manufacturing leads, right? So let me give you guys an example. In here, we are very heavily focused on helping accountants to bring in more advisory clients, because from what I found, that is a huge way to grow and scale an accounting business is to package a premium monthly recurring service so that you guys have premium monthly revenue coming in, recurring, with very few clients, which means a more simple business model, which allows you guys to grow and scale faster. So the content that I do is around, hey, are you like pain aware would be, hey, are you working with too many clients? Are you pulling your hair out during busy season, stressed out and working 18-hour days because you can't make it home to your family, right? So that's talking about the pain and addressing the pain. Are you not seeing enough profit in the door? Like pricing it like just enough to get by pricing. And then sharing, well, have you thought about implementing a higher end service so that you can work with fewer clients and make far more profit, right? And breaking down the why of advisory, right? In our marketing, we can do that, whether it's through video or through stories or through written content or podcast or whatever it is. right? And then I can go into our process that we use to help our clients grow and scale, right? Helping them, how do we help them to package their advisory services so that they can sell it effectively and easily? How do they upgrade current clients and massively increase pricing? How do they do marketing effectively to bring in leads for this service, right? Okay, so hopefully that makes sense that your marketing, if you know, generally what most people are doing is just the solution aware stuff, but we can actually manufacture leads by putting out content like this, as well as having good conversations with people where we're helping them through this journey. Okay. Um, Now with all of that said, right? I do think there is some value in identifying key criteria of what makes a qualified lead, right? So what are the criteria that makes a qualified lead for the service you want to bring in? So you actually want to take some time to ask yourself this, right? This could be like demographics and psychographics and I think that's what I'll go with there, right? But essentially, we want to know, let's say for advisory. So example, for advisory, maybe you want US based clients. You want psychographically, you want people that are coachable, trainable, they show up, they let's see, I don't know, let's see what else could we say? They're action takers. Okay. We want people doing at least let's say greater than $100,000. Okay. And I will just say quickly, guys, like you can definitely have a conversation around advisory with clients that are doing this over six figures. It is possible to sell 1,000 a month retainers to these type of clients because of the value that you guys can provide with your advisory work. Okay. So we want to actually take the time to to put this criteria together. Maybe they have been in business for, let's say, at least 3 years. Okay. And then we want to ask, okay, so then where can we find as many of these people as possible and connect, right? So ideally, this is probably going to be social media, but it could also be conferences. It could be through things like podcasts and things like that as well. But I'll say conferences and networking events. Okay. With social media, like you've got things like Facebook communities. You've got things like uh influencers on social, right? So these people have big networks that probably match your ideal client. Okay. And essentially, what we want to do is we want to start finding these people and pulling them into our world, right? Whether that's adding them as a connection, whether that is talking to these influencers and doing things like podcasts and um, speaking and doing live trainings and things like that in other people's groups so that we can migrate people over to our world, right? And build our audience. It could also be through things like lead magnets, by the way, and I don't recommend it, but you can do this obviously by paid ad strategy. Okay, cool. Where I love the most, especially for starting out on, really marketing and lead gen, social media is great. And if you get out of your comfort zone and start doing some podcasts for your ideal clients, finding the people that have big pools of what podcasts are your clients listening to and reaching out and jumping on those, you can be a great expert and really expand your network quickly doing things like that. Okay. Let's see. We got some more here. So I talked about this yesterday as well, but I want to revisit it. It's easier to market to CFO and sell accounting than it is to market bookkeeping and sell accounting or CFO. Advisory is going marketing around advisory. Marketing around advisory is going to be about high level business problems, right? With advisory, you're really helping them handle things like what do I do with my profits? Who should I hire when? How much should I spend in labor? Things like what should my priority be this quarter? Right? This type of content, when you're talking about these things, right? This is going to attract a much, much larger audience when you're putting out content or talking to people than focusing on, hey, do you need an accountant? Hey, do you need a tax person? Because only a small percentage, like that 1 to 5%, are actively going to be looking for a bookkeeper, actively looking for a tax person, right? Whereas everybody wants to know how to use their profits better. Everybody wants to grow their business. Everybody these are very big common problems because they're high level. Does that make sense? You guys are all quiet, but I'd love some just like let me know if you guys are following, if this is super confusing, like let me know where you guys are at on it, okay? But I appreciate you guys being on here. Now, with all this said, if you're like Charlie, I don't care, I'm just gonna focus on bookkeeping, right? I just want to bring in bookkeeping clients. Fair. All right, fine. Okay. So that means again that 1 to 5% of clients of prospects are actively looking for a new provider. So then we want to say, okay, how can we promote a juicy offer to as big an audience as possible to essentially extract the biggest 1 to 5% possible, right? So if we have a really good offer, which would be something with that is urgency, like a let's see, it's October, so like a Halloween special, and it is high value, like a promotional one-time offer. Maybe it's with a discount, right? I don't like this stuff for advisory, but for bookkeeping, I think this can be powerful. Okay. Let's see. So if we can put a big direct offer in front of a big audience, a really good direct offer in front of a big audience, that allows us to extract as much of that 1 to 5% as possible, right? The other thing that we could look at is how do we offer bookkeeping in a way that really differentiates us and moves us from commoditization, right? This may get people that weren't looking to switch to consider it. Right. It's a lot easier to get people to move to a new opportunity than to switch to a new provider. Right. So think about your cell phone guys, right? Like, or your auto insurance. I think probably a lot of you guys have probably been with with the same provider, the same auto insurance for a long time, or the same accountant for a long time. Well, maybe accountant's not the right word, right example, but you know what I mean, the right cell phone provider for a long time, because you guys have other stuff to do, other things to worry about, bigger priorities. That it may not be as urgent of a thing, right? But when we can really present ourselves as a new opportunity, and just show up as different and better and faster and more support. Like that's a big one that people are craving right now, like most common objection or most common complaint that you guys are hearing is, I'm not hearing from my accountant enough. Long response times, things like this. And unfortunately, this is because a lot of you guys, when you underprice and you work with a high volume of clients, like a lot of accountants are, they aren't able to respond to everybody and give everybody the attention that they want. Okay. So if you can present yourself as different here, that would give you a good opportunity. So I don't recommend focusing on bookkeeping. I recommend shifting to advisory and downselling to bookkeeping. But if you were going to do this, get in front of the biggest 1 to 5% of business owners possible. So that could be through it could be through a paid ad strategy. It could be through let's see, using another a Facebook group that will allow you to post or do a live training or something like that. Okay. The last piece I wanted to talk to you on is on your question up here. You mentioned you just mentioned and CFO if they truly need and can afford it. So that kind of caught me as interesting that you said that. Um, I would love to hear, Tal, like what makes you, what goes off for you that makes you think that someone truly needs advisory, right? Because it's my belief that most businesses could use advisory to help them grow their profits and their business and move them towards their goals. That's the whole purpose of advisory, right? Um, so when you are in a sales conversation and ask things like, um, where do you want your business to be in a perfect world in the next 12 months? What's what's the um what's the end game here? Right? Things like this. What's the biggest challenge or project that needs to get done to get you there, right? To get you, let's say, to your 6 to 12 month goal, right? When you ask these questions, you're identifying challenges and pain points and needs and things that you can help with. Okay. So I really want to, nudge you towards that. Most businesses could really use that advisory help to help them, to hold them accountable, to help keep their priorities in order as they grow their business. Okay. Uh, and, and can afford it. Okay. So with this part, um, I really think when we've been offering accounting packages and tax packages for a while, you you start to assume that people buy accounting and tax the same way they would buy advisory, but they're different. They're different value propositions. So advisory, when presented right, is much, much more valuable than um than traditional services. And you can increase price accordingly. Right. Sure, there will be business owners that literally are cash poor. They can't make any additional investments, right? It does happen. But if you have a client, a prospect that is doing at least 100,000, it's definitely a conversation that you can have to start bringing in someone at bare minimum 750 a month retainer, all the way up to 3,000, up to 5,000. We've had a client land an $8,000 a month retainer this year. So it is absolutely possible. And I do want to say one more thing here. Don't sell with your own wallet, right? Don't sell with your own wallet. Don't assume that they can't pay, right? Let them decide. Listen, and listen and get feedback. Right, so make the offer, I'll put that into, make the dang offer. Right, then let them decide. Then listen to them. Then acknowledge them. This is going into objection handling a little bit, then get clarity. Then help them understand it if possible. So for example, listen to them, so it's like, I can't afford it this month. Or let's say, I think this may be better for Q1, right? Let's say that, that's a one that you guys probably hear sometimes. Then acknowledge them, so I'll do a separate training on overcoming objections for you guys, but do you want to acknowledge the objection? So Chantel says, yeah. That's why I'm excited, Chantel. I know, I hear you. Let's go. Then acknowledge them. So next thing is acknowledge them just sounds like, hey, totally get it, totally understand. Get clarity. Hey, just so I'm clear. It sounds like you want to, wait a few months. Is it just a timing thing? And you're, let's say, super busy with projects. Let's use money, and your cash is in the danger zone right now for the next month or two? Or is there another concern? Just want to make sure I understand. So how that sounds is, yeah, hey, totally get it. I understand. Hey, just so that I'm clear, just so that I can support you, it sounds like you want to wait a few months. Awesome. Is it just a timing thing, or is it just a timing thing, and cash is just, a little bit in the danger zone right now for the next month or two, and you're going to work on that? Or is there something else about the value, or something else that's another concern? I just want to make sure I understand here. Right? And that allows you to get that context and get your understanding. So, and then that gives you just really good detail and helps you to understand how you can best support them, whether that is waiting or helping them with an option to get started sooner to help them. Awesome. So I covered a lot here, guys. Okay. Uh, Tal, I hope this was helpful. Community, I hope this was incredible. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you guys have any follow-up questions. Um, I appreciate you guys. You guys are rock stars. Go implement this. It's the biggest compliment for me. And I'll talk to you all shortly. See ya.